And greetings, everyone. I am Monster to Mermaid, and this is Minecraft. Yes, it is. And I am on the Steampunk, the airship that is outside of the town hall at Seabridge. And we are going to have a different adventure today. A very different adventure, and it's going to start with a map. It's going to start with this map, and I'm going to pull out. On the map, you can see the town of Seabridge, and I'm going to pull all the way out so you can see this M over here. This M is for Mni Island, and we are actually going to use teleportation. I think we still have it available. Teleport to waypoint, and we're going to do that right now. Whoosh! I landed in the water. So this is Mni Island. And I'm going to change my view so that you can see. I think I might have to sleep so that, so that we have the daytime to look at the island. It's really important. Zaf! Kiasu! Kiasu! Posiste! How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so let's pull out a sleeping bag for a minute. I'm going to come here and put away some stuff I have on me. And I'm going to get a sleeping bag. I'm going to get this. We have both of these things. Let's put them like this. And we're going to take a nap on this rock. Zaf. This is what I'm doing today. Oh, it's movie night. Yes, it is. And so, what movie are you going to watch, Saf? You'll tell me about it. I'll wait for him to put it in chat. This is Mni Island. The only thing is, this is Mni Island in the past. That Seabridge is actually in the past for Mni Island. So this is what the island looked like when we first got to it. And these are the shores. You can see some of the little bit of sand that's there that you will see later. These trees, this is where the ship landed. The ship that brought the survivors to Mni Island landed right here where all of those minerals are. These and this is what we found. And this is the island that the survivors of the shipwreck wanted to come to because they loved this. And what you see here is what we found originally on the island, and the island goes all the way around. We have an area behind the Meadows Mountains, which are called the Reservoir Mountains, and these are the cliffs. And these cliffs right now are all of this that you see here. You already started it, but you paused it. Okay. What movie are you watching? And there is one of the skeleton temples right there. And that temple is on the island. Would you like to see that island? Zaf, I'm so sorry. Zaf has already seen this island. This is my island on Twitch. And Zaf is one of the people who has watched me build a civilization on this island. And over here, there is another temple. And this is the Temple of the Skeletons right here. But we're going to stand on the skeleton mainland. And I am going to stand here, and we're going to watch as I change to the future of this. After hours, Vincentius. Zaf is watching a movie called After Hours. Why does that sound familiar?
That does sound familiar.
It sounds familiar to me too. And here we go. We're going to Mni Island in the present. So save and quit to title, and then we're going to transfer over. Which one's After Hours?
Griffin Dunn, Rosanna Arquette, back in 1985.
Oh, okay. Rosanna Arquette, yes. Single player, Tana.
Scorsese.
Oh, it's a Scorsese movie. Oh, that sounds like Zaf's perfect movie director, Scorsese. Okay, and here we go. Now, I think when I come to the present on Mni Island, I'm going to be on the steampunk. And the airship steampunk, let's see if that's true. I don't know for sure. Oh no, I'm not. I am underground. So the world is coming in for a minute. So let me introduce all of you to the current Mni Island. And the way I'm going to do it is go right back to that coastline. There it is right there. This is the coastline that I came from. Zaf, there's your ship. The Sapphire. It's right there. It's sailing away. And we're going to be right here. And this is Mni Island in its present condition. And there it is, everyone, Mni Island. So these were the mountains that we saw before. The reason this mountain looks taller is because the hill that was here has been used. Zaf says hello, Vincentius.
I say hello to him as well.
Did you hear him? He said hello also. Vincentius Primus, everybody. So all of the stone that was here has been used to construct buildings and has been shipped out on ships to help other buildings. And we're just going to go to something that's familiar to us. We're going to go to the steampunk, which is parked right over here. Now, Mni Island, Mni, capital M-N-I, is the Lakota word for water. And now granted, the reason this looks strange is because we just loaded up and put some things in here. And this part is going to be right here. I'm going to bed. This is something that we will fix on the island, on the sea bridge. When it comes back to sea bridge, we will make sure it matches. And so far, these are the doors. So where is the steampunk town hall? When the steampunk travels, that piece, the town hall piece, gets loaded into this this little table here, and that table is moved into position. So when the people get off the boat right here, this is where they come to, and this is Mni Island. So they come down here, and they can go through this pavilion right here. This is one of the couriers. They can pick up their luggage, and they see other ships. Now these are seafaring ships that are here. It's after midnight, but you're drinking coffee? Cool. Okay, to stay awake. So we have two other ships here, and as we saw, we can barely make out. Well, nope, it's gone. The Sapphire is out there somewhere, so it just left this dock. And so when the visitors come through here, they are directed to pass through this hallway right here and go up to Town Hall and go through. So that's what we're going to do right now. This is this goes upstairs right here to the town hall. Now there is the crag. That's what this mountain is called. It is a water mountain, one of the water mountains of the crags, of the crag islands, and this is the guard station for that. You are silly boys. Yes, you and Vincentius Primus both loving your coffee. And this is the town hall. This is a level 5 cavern design by Lady Tana. And this is town hall for the city. There is Justice. Justice is the crag guardian, and she's doing rounds. She's a druid. Here's the book for the town hall, and let's just look in it right now. And we can look and see that there are 94 people living here, as opposed to the 28, I think, that are living on in the little sea experiment that we are doing. So this hall is still under construction. There is flooring and furniture that is supposed to be brought in to some of these areas. That stone we were talking about is being processed for the flooring in here, unless it's going to be wood, and that's something that's being decided. There is a theater right here, and this theater is actually for political rallies, for concerts, and for plays. So everything is done on this stage and in this location, and you can see there are speakers set up. So it looks like that the next thing that's going to happen here is some kind of actual performance by a band. We can go upstairs in this town hall, and there are accommodations, not on this side, on the other side. On this side are libraries and rooms where things are being decided in regards to the city. And there is this, what would I call that? I think I'd call it yeah, I don't know. What would you call that, Saf? Would you call that a ring? Like a competition ring? Possibly. So on this side, we have some accommodations. There's some storage in this area, as you can see. And then here, when people stay to do performances, this is where they stay. And then over here, we do have an actual room for visiting magicians can use. And this is the town hall that we have in this town. This town hall is inside the crag, and we're going to go out of the crag. This is the first builder's shop, actually the second builder's shop. It is a level 5 alternative builder's shop for the cavern design. And we're going to, just for a moment, we're going to take an air view. We're going to come over. So the town hall is inside the crag. That square right there is a part of the town hall, and around on this side you can see the other part of the town hall sticking out right here with its garden roof. And above the town hall is the university. Above the university is housing, and above all of that is a Crimson Keep enchanter tower, which is relatively new. The original Enchanter Tower was a cavern style, but we put in a new Enchanter Tower. This is Crimson Keeps in Enchanter, and this is what it looks like. We haven't really done much to it as far as modification is concerned. The only thing we did was we carpeted the floors differently, and we added some actual, I don't think there's any on this floor, but we did add some modified chairs. Other than that, this is Crimson Keep's design for the Enchanter, just the way it looks. And so up here, the only change that we made up here, hello Kelvin, Kelvin is our Enchanter, is that we made these windows actually open up, not on this side. This side is where they can see the moon. See that right down there? That's the steampunk on the bay. You want to tell you something? Wisteria tree? A wisteria tree. Okay. Yeah, I'm listening, Saf. And so on this side, Kelvin can actually see the sun and the moon come up to rise. And on this side, he can look out over the entire island. And there is the meadows that we were talking about. You can still see all the jungle trees, but there is now housing and industry all inside of these places. This is all grassed over because it's so moist here that the rock begins to moss. So that is his balcony. Now, what we did do here was we added a room. When this was the cavern build, there was actually a room for a personal house that was outside of the build. And when we put this in, then we were able to take advantage of the fact that we had done that before. So in the Crimson Keep design, this underneath the first floor exists. It's just empty. So what we did with it was we made it where Kelvin and his partner, Malaya, live here. Hello, Justice. Justice is doing some rounds checking. And so we put in a kitchen in this area for them and living space, their dining room. And then upstairs, okay, Justice, come on down. Bye. And then up here is the original bedroom that was a part of the old build. And I'm so glad it made it through, and this is really fun. So we have a little dressing area for them because their bedroom is all made out of glass practically. Let's see, they're going to start coming home in a minute, and when they do, we'll leave. Didn't know the name, not in Greek, not in English, but you learned it in English. Wanted to find the name. Is rare at town, only one that you've ever seen, Wisteria. Wisteria is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I see someone coming up here. It is probably Malaya coming home. And let's see, or it was Kelvin. There's Malaya. Okay, so they're both home and they're both going to upstairs to bed, and we are going out into the hall. So we're going to start. We're at the top of the crag, and there it is. We can see the steampunk down there, and we're just going to take these stairs all the way down. And so the first stop on these stairs, there's the docks. The first stop on these stairs is the top floor where we have housing, and we have Faye and Paula's restaurant right here. And this restaurant is the University Cafe. And Faye actually lives with her partner, Robin, in this house right here. Right over here is one of the university towers. These are single apartments for singles, although a couple of these apartments have been changed into family homes, and we might get a chance to look at it. So here we are. We're going to go to the main stairwell. This stairwell only goes from Kelvin and Malaya's place down to this floor, and we're going to come down to the main stairwell and go down to the next floor. And the next floor is actually a housing floor, and we have two houses here. We have a house that belongs to, I believe, our doctor and the docks manager. One of the docks managers. Our docks carpenter lives here, and I believe he lives with Lucia, the head of our fishery. Yes, and that's Caspian, and this is their house. This is I have maybe 9 of these houses. These are the cavern style alternative home residence, and it has been modified partly Lady Shatana's design for the footprint, and then we've changed some of the things in keeping with who these houses belong to. And so this is Caspian. Caspian loves acacia, and he imports it from wherever he can find it. He loves using it. So this is his house. In contrast, this house belonging to Walter and Anya, and their daughter Alea came home to live with them, and they are waiting for furniture and things in this house, but their kitchen is done, and we actually gave them a new kitchen. This is the cavern style default home, which is a 2-story home, and if we go upstairs we'll see the footprint of the 2-story home, although it has been changed to fit the personality of this family that lives here. And this is on the way downstairs. Our next stop in the crag is the university level, and that is this hallway right here. This is university. This is the top floor of the university and of the library, the university library, the Crag University. Here's the library on this side, and this is actually, I thought it was the top, but I'm wrong. It's actually the bottom. So this is the library. This is a cavern build. Yes, needs a sofa and a table. It definitely does, Zaf. It needs some furniture. They're waiting for some furniture to arrive. This is the library for the university, and if we go up here we see more books and more tables for people to sit and to work and for study. And then across the way, I'm going to close this. Across the way is the university lecture halls, and this is one lecture hall on this side, and then on the other side is a second lecture hall right here. And then down below these lecture halls is a university area where people can study and work together on projects. And some small classes are held here. And of course, there is another enchanting table in this area. This is the University Level 5 of the Cavern build. You like all the purple? It is beautiful. It was beautiful over there in the library. I liked that too. And we had fun. Now, Lady Shatana, all of this was purple. The challenge was for all of these pieces to be purple. Purple's hard, so we changed it into wool. We made them comfortable seats and tables where things could actually be placed on those tables. And that is the change. That's the modification that we made to the Lady Shatana's design for this. We're going to go downstairs. That's all that's in the crag, other than, of course, the town hall. And the one other thing, and that is the Sailor's Tavern. So this was built during the time that there was a moratorium on how many taverns you could have. And so we have 3 taverns here. This is the Sailor's Tavern, which is a desert oasis tavern, and we're going to go inside if I can. There we go. And this is the Desert Oasis Tavern. We've done just a tiny bit of modification because we could, but there are some things that we didn't change because we want them to be able to use the chairs. So we have to use stairs for chairs. We can't do modded chairs here, or they won't sit. We did a little change in the wine cellar here, or the beer cellar, but most of this is the way it was redesigned. This is Desert Oasis, and it was redesigned to fit in the new blocks for 19 and for all the newer ones, newer than 16. So the design here is actually the same. We just put in modded furniture and lighting in these areas, and that is what we did. Also in here, this was here, all of this, and we just changed it to modded furniture and furnishings in this section, and added modded lights to this area. Now, the reason that we wanted this specific place, I'll show you a couple of the rooms to let. They're nice tiny rooms, and they really actually do look like something you'd see in a tavern. They're just really tiny, and just to get some sleep. But the primary reason we wanted this was because of its location. We were putting it in a place where we needed this upstairs garden because it is on the meadow border. So these gardens are part of the level 5 of a Desert Oasis Tavern, these right here, and we needed these to blend into this area, and it works out really nicely. So that is one of our taverns. That's actually our second tavern. The first tavern is the Coastal Tavern, and the Coastal Tavern is down these stairs, and it is a Space Wars level 5 coastal desert tavern. What we've done is we've modified just a little tiny bit some of the poles, some of the pillars that were used, and inside we of course did the modification for furniture in here, and we added this area where when they come in, they can actually have some food served to them for the outside deck, because we opened a door and a window into this part right here because it was inside the walkway. And so since that was in the walkway, we decided to take advantage of that, and we added this whole entire area here where they can sit down and eat, and the rest of it is pretty much the way it is in all of the desert oasis places. We did put a door on this room back here, but all the other rooms are pretty much the same. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock at night. It's a little early. Tana is amazing and huge. Yeah, it's really big. It really is. So it's only 8 o'clock at night, so we're going to go out here. So this is the main docks right here. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. What's wrong with me? This is the main docks right here, and this is where all the ships come in. We can see merchandise sitting on the docks. We have two docks managers, Walter and Santino, who work out of these pavilions right here. These pavilions actually are a part of Lady Shatana's docks, her cavern-style docks. But the other things were added. We added the gift from the mer people, from mermaids, based off of Lady Shatana's statues. She has some of these statues in her styles, in her decorations, and we just adapted these statues to be on this island, and that was a gift from the mer people to the land people. This is Lucia. I'm changing your name, Lucia. This is Lucia's fishery. Lucia is the manager of the fishing industry on the island. She serves fish and chips at lunchtime out of this window, which was put into the level 5 cavern build. I think this is the alternative fishery, and I think it is the alternative. So that is what she does. Now, she was joined recently by Chris Reeves. Yes, that's his name. And I didn't. Yeah, well, we won't go there. Okay. Anyway, Chris is one of the fishers now as well. Hi, Chris. Are you okay here? Are you trying to get something? Do you need something? You need a fishing rod. All right. Well, they should be delivered. And there is Chris and Lucia's fishing boat sitting off the dock right here for when they do some deep sea fishing. And that's their fishing boat. Other than that, they like fishing close to the land. And she even has some farm fish right here. I don't know what's in that water. It could be mollusks, mussels, something. Here is the docks. This is actually the docks mechanic. This is actually a Lost City docks, Lost City mechanic level 5. So the change that we made is it's actually buried in the hill. And so because of that, it does not have the Lost City tower that's usually on top. But the reason we wanted this was because of this downstairs area right here. This is the way this was designed. And this is Lost City with this secret room right here, which I just love this, with the dynamite sitting and the ender chest. All of this sitting in a special secret room under this mechanic shop, and it is so cool. Fish and chips, as you know, is great food, even for takeaway. Fish and chips is the best. Fish and chips is the best. And so Marcos is our second mechanic. He took over just recently as Joe, who was originally our docks mechanic, moved with his partner to the Wolf's Head. So Marcos is one of, I think he's from the ninth set of kids that we have. We get kids in groups of 5, and he's the 9th group of 5 to come in, and that is who he is. This is Caspian. Caspian is the carpenter on the docks. Caspian is the one who loves acacia. So naturally, his entire place is practically made out of acacia. And but he is a really good carpenter, and he is here for the boats in case they need something, and also for the town. We're going to go this way because right here is a savanna, an urban savanna warehouse level 5. Now this urban savanna warehouse may not look like you would think because all the outside acacia has been removed because acacia is not indigenous to this place. It's still on the inside because Caspian likes it. But less of it is being used on the outside than what was before. And the other thing about this is it is partially underwater. And I don't suggest you do this. I don't know what I changed. I don't know how I did it. But something I changed in here makes it that they have a hard time finding what they're looking for. I'm amazed that Walter is down here. So I think that there is something about this that it got borked, and I'm not quite sure where, but it was part of my modifications. It was something that I did that borked it. They do deliver some things, but there's something that I've done that causes them not to do as much delivery as they could. I've tried all sorts of things. I've tried firing them, rehiring, and doing all sorts of things, but that hasn't worked. Alea had a flower shop on the other side of the island, but she wanted to come home and live with her parents, and so she opened this little shop here. She's waiting for furniture to come in on this shop, so she's not we don't have any, she doesn't have her gifts in yet that she intends to have for tourists, because this is in the tourist area. We have a clinic. This is Anya, is the doctor at this clinic. This is an Incan level 5 clinic that has been heavily modified. It is, and I say that even though it's less modified than the second Incan clinic that we put in, but it has absolutely been modified, and this is what it looks like in here. And this is Anya, and Anya has made everybody well, so she does not have any patients right now. Across from this clinic is the Mystic site. So when work was being done on the town hall, which is up here above this corridor, they discovered these hot water springs down here, and they discovered the ruins of skeleton baths. So these were baths for the skeletons, except that they were in ruins. And the builders, specifically Robin, looked at the ruins and looked at historical information and decided to restore the baths as a mystical site. And so this is the mystical site for this island. And this is where tourists and island people can come and they can visit that site and partake in the baths. So the sun is setting again. We're in the tourist section, and on this side where the coastal tavern was that we were in, we have a bakery right here, and then that's the coastal bakery, and this is the coastal restaurant. And here's another. We haven't done a lot. We did change the floor. Obviously, we changed the floor and some of the lighting. But beyond that, this is actually the desert oasis design for this restaurant. We did shade out the designer stones that are in this, and we decided to use these stones as the markers in this building. And over here on the bakery, we actually broke through the wall here of the bakery in order to put in a little pass-through so that people could actually buy bread or buy pastries from the window when Jameer, who is our pastry chef, has more pastries or has something that he wants to sell at the window. He does sell to restaurants, including his partner's restaurant next door, which is Barbara. She's partnered with Diana, but they both own the restaurant together. And there you go. After your ship returns to a hot spa water, that would be amazing. Yes, when your ship comes back, that's what you're going to do. So this is Jameer's bakery right here. That goes up to the roof and the windmill, and this is his place. And then we just saw his partner, Barbara, their restaurant. This monument here is the last monument to the fact that there was a mountain here, and where this water fountain is the last piece of mountain to come down on this coast. The coast came all the way up to where you see this part right here. This is where the coast came to, and all of it was flattened in order to make this area here. So this coastal area, when the survivors first came here, they actually came to a little camp. There was a little camp which is now underneath of this dark oak. This is a dark oak tree house courier, but this isn't. This little structure right here and some portions of this outside piece right here. This is a ship, an antique. That's here. Oops, let me try and get that piece to come up so that no one falls. Okay, so this is underneath, so most of it's been removed, but we still have the original little cabin area of the supply. Was it actually Shire's Aft? Do you remember? I don't even remember now what that supply ship was. It might have been Shire, or it might have been the new version of Nordic. But it was a long time ago. So now this is the basement, or I should say the outside area of this dark oak courier, and we have some modified furniture in here, and it goes out this door. And here we are, and this one belongs to Jace. So that leads down to where the warehouse is, and this leads to the farm country. And there's Camden. Camden has decided it must be hot. It must be summer because Camden is not wearing. He's a level 5 or whatever the highest level you can have of a guardian, and he is one of those. I'm going to close this door, Camden, and he's not wearing. He's chosen to wear the lighter uniforms. Let's go back over to where we were. This is where the restaurant is. Let's go to here. This is, I believe, nope, I'm going to have to look. I don't remember who this belongs to, so I'm going to look for a minute. This is a Desert Oasis level 5 flower shop. However, in this city, this is the tourist gardens. This is actually the coastal gardens where tourists can come and they can walk around and they can look and they can sit on a bench and just hang out in this lovely garden. And Avery is the curator of this garden. And if they want to buy a seed for something that they've seen, they can step into this little shop right here and she'll sell them the seeds for plants that are in this. This is a desert oasis. Is it a desert oasis? We're going to have to go in and look. This is an apiary. This is an apiary. It is either Desert Oasis or Space Wars. This is Abel. Abel is our beekeeper. And let's see. It is Desert Oasis, but it is gorgeous inside. Look at this. It is spectacular. And I just love it. I love it. So it's kind of like a zoo because they can actually, tourists can actually come up to these bars here and they can actually look inside and see the bees in their natural habitat. Thank you, Abel. So he is our caretaker and that keeps our bees safe. This was actually the first builder's shop that was built on the island. This one right here, a Shire builder. And then this house right here is actually the second house built on the island. The first house built on the island is this one. This is a dark oak level 5 tree house residence that has been modified to fit into the jungle. So if you know anything about dark oak design, you'll recognize that this is the main hallway of a dark oak. The bedroom on this floor has been taken out for a living room. It has a beautiful view. You like those blocks made ancient? It does. Isn't that cool? It just looks beautiful. Those, Zaf is talking about the sandstone blocks that are chiseled. In Chroma Hills, the chiseled sandstone has a couple different styles, and you can, so you don't just have one type of chisel. You have, I think, 3 different types of chisel that you can use in sandstone. So this is the, this is the dark oak treehouse. And because it was the first one built in the jungle, they're still waiting for furniture for their bedroom. That's interesting. But all the other rooms in the house have been done already. This is the upstairs, their kitchen area. And this was one of the first houses where we use the shutters, which I believe are X-Line mod. It's a mod called X-Line, and they have wonderful little additions. One of their additions is toasters, and these toasters are so fun because they actually have a cord board. And it actually pops up the toast. You can see the toast there. If we go around to the other side, the toast will actually pop up. I'm going to do this so I don't, ta-da! That is, I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Okay, so this house, I still have to work on that bedroom. That's interesting. There's lots of things that you'll see. First guard, Eliana. There's lots of things that you'll see that still have to be worked on here because, you know, it's Minecraft. This was the second house ever built, and so it has a lot of work that's been done to it. It's 111. Ooh, excellent, excellent time. Cool. Where Zaf is, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're still up, Zaf, but it's Saturday night. It is indeed. So Barbara and Jameer live here, and because they're both chefs, they wanted a chef's kitchen. So this was one of the first kitchens that we did that is super modern and made especially for them. The refrigerator, I just realized the refrigerator didn't open because the carpet's in the way of it. This is X-Line's refrigerator, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look. Yep, that's X-Line, which I just love. I love that there's things on the inside. And so we'll put that carpet piece back. Let me just find it for a minute. It's in my hand. There we go. And then we did lots of modifications just because we have the mods and we added them. So Chroma Hills has different paintings. We have lamps from all different mods, and we have closets and chairs and furniture from a different number. We expanded the door in this Shire house to give them more of a view outside. That's the master bedroom, and this used to be a kid's bedroom, but now it's a guest bedroom for them, and this is what it looks like. And yeah, this is in keeping with the design of this house. And then downstairs is the third bedroom. There was a bed in here where, oh, and it's back. Okay, so this is another bedroom. They have kids and grandkids, this couple, so they like having the big house for everyone to come and stay here when they visit. Their son is actually a restaurant owner as well on the other side of the island. So this is one of the houses that we've done. And let's go back up the stairs right here. Let's go to the very first guard tower that was put in. This is the guardian tower for the first guard, who is the archer Eliana. And we wanted this tower because it was a Shire tower, and it was the first time making one of these towers, and we wanted something that would disappear into the forest and yet still be a guard tower. So Eliana is the first guard. She was the first one. And we have, I believe, 7 now. I think we have 5. No, we have 9. We have 5 and 4 of the people. We're going to go down into Eliana's little area where she keeps her stuff. So this is a Shire build. This is where the Shire builder, the Shire style, has the bed for the guard. They had this closet. This is their design for the closet, and which I love. And they're designed to have these tools back here for. However, we added this door and we added this window, and the reason we did is because even though this is underground, it opens up into a housing area in the Downs, and the Downs is the area underneath the meadow. And this is housing where people live. There's Teresa going home to her house. We have a couple of houses in this area, but this, and there's Louisa and Abel, they're all going to their houses. I think that's Avery. Avery and Abel are partners. This is one of the other builders' shops. Right here belongs to Chase. Chase at this time doesn't have anything to build, so he is actually doing teaching construction at the extension to the Crag University. But this is his, this is a Lost City level 5 builder. And this is the top part, and then the bottom is down here. There's storage in the bottom part of this level 5 builder shop. We added, of course, the modded, I should say, bench. And we did change, we expanded the little area of brick that was here to blend into the rest of the town. So let's go up to the meadow first. This is the next builder's shop that was completed. This builder's shop has more work done on it than the others do. We added a little office. This was built for Aaron, and now I believe no one is here. That is correct. For the time being, no one's working here. Aaron has moved to the Wolf's Head, which is the other side of the island, where he is working. But I think we're going to come down in his place and make use of his little bedroom right here, and we're going to go to sleep. What time of night is it? Yes, it's a little early. 21, isn't that 9? 22 is 10. Yeah, we're going to go to bed early. So it'll be much easier to see things in the daytime. So this is a builder's shop here that belongs to one of the builders who's teaching right now. It belongs to Marin, and this one belongs to Chase. So two of the builders are right here. This is the school, and this is my favorite school. I think I mentioned that in one of the streams, that the Dark Oak School is my favorite. And yeah, see where those are? I probably put them up. They probably were hanging down, and I put them up higher into the ceiling there. But everything else is pretty okay. We added some of X-Line's little chairs. These are actually little kid chairs, and they're so adorable. I had to add them to the school because it was just way too cute. When I have the other school done at Seabridge, I'm going to add them there too. And right here, we'll come back to that. And yeah, no, let's do that now. So let's come up here. This is Drew. Drew is the manager. What happened to the bat pet that I had? I don't know, actually. They probably went back to the wild because bats like to be with other bats, and we did not have it caged in. So I think that it's probably gone back to the wild and to its own kind. This is a little hallway we made for the manger that we put underneath. I believe this is steampunk, but let's see if it is. Yes, it is. This is a steampunk alternative design sheep farm, and this is the sheep farm that makes a huge piece of land the sheep farm without putting up any buildings. So he is actually taking care of wild sheep. There's nothing keeping these sheep here. They just are here because they've always been here, and they stay here. Every once in a while they find their way into town and he has to go round them up, but this is their home, and he takes care of the meadows. This is the meadows, and this is where it is. Oh no, they just went home, and in a way it's good, Zaf, because it was just a single bat. Think about it. Wouldn't you be lonely if you were the only one of your kind? And so I don't mind that they went away, and who knows, maybe they'll come back and bring the rest of their family when they come, and that would be really fun. Let's go this way and go, nope, let's go this way and go to the next most important areas. We're going to be right here for a minute. This is the meadows. This is actually where I am now, is the Treehouse District. And up here are stairs that go up to a restaurant that is on the meadows. This is the only building right now that's on the meadows. And if we walk through the fields of flowers, we can see it peeking out of this mountain right here, which is one of the reservoir mountains. And this is Catalea and Lorelei. Lorelei is the head chef, and Catalea is her partner chef in this restaurant right here. And there's the two of them. Once again, this is another one. I believe, I have no idea. Yes, this is a Lost City level 5 restaurant right here. Yes, it is. Yay. And it looks very much like it has a beautiful East Asian aesthetic to it, which I really like, and it's very pretty. So we're going to go down these stairs right here. We're going to follow this path down here, and we're going to head down. Now there are houses all in this area. This is one of the dark oak tree houses right here. There's a bed in this room, and upstairs, let me see, and this is a living room right here, and then in this room is the other bed. There it is right there. This used to be, see that right there? So that's one of the sheep. This used to be Lorelei living with her partner, but you liked it to be around. Yeah, I know. But it will come back with family. It'll come back somewhere. So this used to be Lorelei and her partner unfortunately was lost in an accident, and so she lives here. She did live with her son for a while, and then she lived with her grandchild, but now all the children and the grandchildren are living their own lives, and she's living by herself. In that house down below is living, I don't know if Drew is their kid. I would have to go look. This is one of the Shire homes down here, and Catalea lives there with Drew. And then we're going to head down this way, and these are the tree houses of Mni Island. This is the Treehouse District. There is Blair. She's going to take, I'm almost positive she's going to take the ladder. No, you're not going to take the ladder down? Okay. Lily. Lily's going to show her the other way down. And we're just going to go right here. There's a ladder right here, and we're going to take it. this ladder right down here. And there we go. And this ladder comes right in front of Benjamin's shop. This is the Fletcher.
Work.
And hello, Benjamin. How are you? This is a Shire Fletcher shop here. What did we do? I don't think we did anything in here. This is pretty much the way it was. I think we added... Nah, I don't think we did anything. This is cool. This area, we did put a gate here so we could get out. But other than that, this is the way this Shire Fletcher is. When people in the ruins, we have a shopping center, and when they buy bows and arrows, they come here to try them out. There is no other place where they can try out bows and arrows in this town, and that's the reason why he has that sign out. So let's go to the farm country. So the next house that was built was the farmhouse right here. You will recognize the Incan farmhouse. And then we have the Farm Valley here. This is a Shire farm. This farm right here is a Shire level 5 farm. And then there are 3 Incan level 5 farms. Blair's farm right here. This is hers right next to the farmhouse right here. And we go inside. And this is what her little farm building looks like, and she grows potatoes and melons and pumpkins. So that is what she is growing in her farm area. Now right off here is the first guard tower on the coast. We actually have another guard tower around the bend, around that bend right there on the coast that looks over Skeleton Mainland right here. And this is Lily. Lily started out as an archer, and then she decided she wanted to be a druid, and so she studied with Julio at the time, and she became a druid. And this is her guard tower right here. And because of what we did with Camden's guard tower, we actually gave her a little private room here for when she wants to lay down. If you know, the guard towers of the Dark Oak do not have any place for the guards to lay down. And then we have the other, everyone's going home, we have the other 2 farms, Incan farms. This is Maverick's farm here, and Maverick is growing wheat. He's growing lots and lots and lots of wheat. Maverick, what's the matter? Why aren't you going home? What's going on with you? He's looking at me, otherwise I would think there was something wrong with him, but he's out late. Interesting. And then this is Nathan's farm right here. Now, Maverick and Blair have been having some issues, so maybe that's why he's still out, but we'll see in a little bit. And this is Nathan's farm right here. Nathan grows carrots and tomatoes, beets and carrots and cabbage is what he's growing. And then the composter. In the middle of the farm country, we have Charlie's composter. This is absolutely a level 5 Lost City composter. What did we do? We removed the tower because we actually it didn't fit the aesthetic of this area, so we just removed it as a modification to the design. And but we actually love this this composter and are very happy with the fact that we chose this one to go here, and Charlie loves it. So in the beginning, all the farmers lived in that little farmhouse, but as they began to be partnered and have families, we built the burrows, and we added 2 more farms. This is Quinn's farm. He's growing lentils, and this is Delaney's farm, and she is a chicken farmer. And these are our only animals other than fish that we harvest on this land. We do not kill the sheep. We only get their wool. And so the burrows are a set of houses that are underground in the farm country, and these 3 houses, these are all shire houses that have been built into a cavern hallway, the cavern style hallway, and we actually have room for 2 more houses at this end of the hall. We just didn't need them. So so far there's only 3 houses in here, but there could be, I believe, judging from the room, there's one there, and if we wanted, we could put one on the end. And so that's how much housing we could actually add in this area. So we have kept not only Lady Tana's designs for the cavern, but we've also kept the Shire's designs for the Shire builds. And I like the 2 of them together. They work really well. So we're going upstairs right here to Clayton's. We're going up to Clayton's farm. Clayton is the forester, and this is his farm. Now, his farm is the other valley. So there are 2 valleys. I beg your pardon. I just hit that. There are 2 valleys in this jungle area, and this is the upper valley, which is why it was chosen for the tree farm. And then there is a lower valley, which is where all the farms are that we just came from. So we're going to take this road right here back to the treehouse lane. This is treehouse district, and then this is the Meadows road here, the Meadows lane, and this is the hospital. This is a Shire level 5 hospital with some modifications, and the modifications are especially right in this area. I loved this sunroof right here. Look at the moon through that. Isn't that just gorgeous? But I wanted to have a waiting room in the hospital, and then we did add some different lighting in the hospital, as well as put in some modified cabinetry for Reed, who is the doctor here, and a coffee. And all the rest of this that you see is the footprint of the Shire level 5 hospital. It has these rooms. We added closets, and this area, there were books here. We changed the style of them. There was a window here, but because this is underground, we don't have that window in that spot. And then there are several rooms down here. I don't think there's anyone in the hospital right now, but the hospital rooms were modified a little bit to give cabinetry and closets for the people who are using the hospital, and we actually are quite happy with this. I love this design, and I had lots of fun doing all the things with it. So let's go into the Downs. So the Downs is the industrial area. Now this is the second city where I have underground industry. And underground, different from underwater, right, Zaf? But this is the underground area. One of the first places we put in was this blacksmith. This is a Shire blacksmith right here, and it belongs to Raymond. And one of the last things that we put in, we just finished putting in this arcology restaurant and modifying it to look like a market stand, where Ray feeds people. It's a fast food restaurant, and we'll continue down the line. These two buildings are relatively new. This is an arcology alchemist. This is our second alchemist right here. And this is across the way is our second glass cutter. This is Evelyn's glass shop right here. And this is Leah. This is Leah, who is our second alchemist. This is Ashton, who is the ores smelter. This is a Shire level 5 smeltery right here. And then we'll go down the line and show all the different places. This is the mine. This is a level 5 cavern style mine right here. It's a really interesting thing about this mine. We had a protection, thank goodness, for the miner from research, because at one point the miner uncovered lava and literally burned 13 floors of the mine. The 13 floors of the mine had to be repaired, and it was really stunning that had happened. So this is now where he's at with the mine, and you can see all these different levels of the mine that are in the process. There's a working area of the mine where he's actually digging out, and that is what Tucker is doing with this mine. But it goes all the way down and then comes all the way back to this huge area right here, which is really nice. And I really liked the way this looked. We did add coffee and some things in this area. And Tucker, I think, let me just see for a minute. Yep, it definitely is cavern. And yeah, we were very happy with this mine. Yes, you're saying the colored glass. Yeah. So because this shop is so out in the open, Evelyn is actually displaying her glass as a part of the shop. So she's got all the different chroma hills, and I believe some of this, let me see for a minute. This is quark. So the framed glass that you're looking at up here is actually quark, and then these are Chroma Hills colors for regular glass, and then those in the back there are Macaw's windows, and there's Evelyn. And then on the ground and on the sides, all of that beautiful glass. And yeah. And so the reason why this area is gated is because sheep used to come down here. And so the people didn't really like that there was sheep dung in their industry, in their shops. So those gates were put there. They don't come down anymore. This is Denver's courier shop, and it's got some mailboxes back here. And it also has a post office. Yeah, right there is the postal stand. And yeah, so that is Denver's courier shop here. We have a concrete mixer right here. This is Lillian. I'm going to call Lillian actually to come down to the shop and let us recall her. There she is. So Lillian is actually our concrete mixer. Lillian, She's mad at me because I called her. Lillian, please look at the people. You're not going to look, are you? Yep, she's mad. But we did modify her shop a little bit to give her a display area for her concrete colors. And but this is something that I love. This is Lady Shatana's actual design. These dye vats right here, and the way the dye comes down into to put out the color. I just loved that. So I had to have that as one of the designs in this place. And so that is the concrete mixer. Over here we have Quincy. He has the glass shop. So Quincy has the industrial glass shop, and Evelyn has sort of like a little retail glass store. But Evelyn studied with Quincy. Quincy's the master at doing glass, and Evelyn has become a master in her own right. And this is a cavern build level 5.
I could help you with
yes,
that.
are you actually a customer in the store? I think he has a customer, a tourist. That's actually a tourist. This is Jalen. Jalen is one of 2 stonemasons. The other stonemason is Stefan upstairs, and we'll show you his place in a moment. So Jalen likes to make big statues, and people in other cities come and request for her statues, and that's what these are right here. Hello, Lily. Now I see you all dressed. Look at you. Beautiful. Okay. And upstairs here in the middle down, this is the middle down, we have Stefan's shop. And this is the exact same shop, just differently modified. So he likes to make furniture, and he has all these different pieces in here. Hi, Stefan, that he has made. Also up here is Daniel. Daniel is the second carpenter. So we have 2 industrial carpenters, Caspian and Daniel. And this is Daniel's shop right here. And across the way is the upstairs for 2 shops. The upstairs for, I believe this is the crusher on the end, which is Maria. Yes, indeed. And Maria's crushing shop right here. What is she looking at? What is that there? Something's missing from there, but I don't know what it is. I'll have to look at the original design and see what's going on with that. But this is her crushing shop, and right next door is I believe this is the sifter. Dax? Yes, Dax is the sifter. Let's make this go away. This is Dax's shop. This is Lady Shatana's design for a sifter plant, and it also has an upstairs area as well, and that is this area right here. So you can hear the sheep from the meadow, and this is how they used to get down into the downs. This is how we discovered these caves down here. Those designs that are nicknames of the designer or nicknames of a design that confused you. So Lady Shatana, I'll show you, and maybe I need to show that for just a minute. So let me get this. This is the build tool, and when you click on the build tool, you get a menu for all the different designs. So every design tells you who is responsible for the design. So we were talking about the cavern design right here, and the author is Lady Tana. The steampunk design is Mubian, Motionless Train, and Yalokabi. And one of the other designs that we used a lot, Shire, was the combination of John Ryer and Ray and Sam Adams, or Some Add-ons is his actual name, and others, Daddy Pig, John Ryer, and others. But I remember when they were building that on their Twitch stream, when Minecolonies team was actually building it. And you can watch Minecolonies team design these styles. This is Raycom's, and John designed Space Wars. And it's a beautiful design, and we're using some of those buildings. We're also using the Shire. We're using Lost City, Urban Savannah, which is John's build. We're using Lost City, if we can find it. There's Crimson Keep, who's Princess Wendy and Dilbert 93, and we're using those design for the Enchanting Tower and for the Covenstead. And then John, of course, I don't think we have any Nordic. The Incan is Raycoms and John and Sam. And I do remember them building that on their Twitch stream. And then Arcology is Blocky Universe. Desert Oasis is also Ray and John and Sam and Aravan and Mubian. So that's where the names are coming from. I try and mention their names sometimes because they are actually the ones who created the buildings that I love to make. And one of the cool things about Minecolonies is you don't have to be a builder. You can have all these beautiful buildings and do with them what you want, and the people in the citizens of the Minecolonies will build them for you. So let's come down here. This is in the Downs. We do have housing down here, and I think I took the wrong stairs. I did. This is a corridor that is not in use. Skeleton corridors were down at this level, and we thought we were going to put some things down here, but that hasn't happened. So these are Lady Tana's hallways, her corridors. This is the way they look, and they're really beautiful. And they have sort of imprinted in them how you can fit all the different buildings in. You see those obviously look like doors and windows, and you can match the doors and windows up to the designs. So let's go up here and let's see if there it is. So some people are still coming home from their jobs. This is in the Downs, so this is underneath the industrial area. We have several homes. A bunch of guys live in this house, and then we have a couple living here. We have a couple living here. We see Tucker, and I didn't see who that was. Tucker, I forgot who you live with. Let's see. I think it's Lillian. Yes, Tucker and Lillian live in this house right here, and this is the alternative build of the cavern design. And then we have another house over here. So there are 4 houses in this hallway, and that allowed us to be able to have families who live in the Downs. and this is the Downs right here. And as I said, this restaurant is actually Ray's second restaurant. We put a market stand here, and Ray loved it so much he wanted to have a real restaurant here. And Ray has been using a little fast food restaurant at the end of this hallway here. And this little fast food restaurant is only a level 2. What happened was, unfortunately, we built things underneath this restaurant before we realized that this restaurant had a basement. And so this can only be a level 2 because the level 3 would build down into one of the houses down below. But it's such an adorable restaurant, and it looks great because it opens up into the hallway, and I really love that. The outside structure is a modification of mine, but the footprint is the Shire level 2 restaurant. And then over here is another guard tower. This guard tower is Emir's. Emir is now the druid. I believe he's first druid. His mother, Justice, would be first druid, but Emir was druid. I think that Justice does not want the first druid status. She is happy with being a druid, and she especially doesn't want it because Julio, her partner, was first druid, and he actually passed away. And I think she prefers Emir having that title. So we saw the farm country. We saw all sorts of things in this area. You noticed that there was a hallway back here, but we're going to go the way we actually went to find that hallway. So what happened was, in the farm country, we needed a place for the plantation, and we didn't have one. And we also we knew that we were going to need a dye shop. You didn't see one, and that is correct. And so those two buildings, the sugar farm and the dye shop, needed a place to be, and that meant we were going to spread past the farm area and go back in beyond, closer to the other side of the mountains, the Reservoir Mountains. And so this is Sergio. This is his farm, his sugar farm, right here on this coast. And it's one of the buildings that the skeletons love. They actually love this building, and I don't know why. Maybe because it looks like it's some sort of ancient temple or something, even though they know it's a farm. They just love it, and it has been okay for us to have this building on the coastline like this. This is, in fact, a Incan. This is an Incan. Yes, the cavern is the design, and Lady Tana is the designer, and that is correct. And so Incan is the design, and then the designer of the Incan build is a group of the developers actually designed this build, and that goes for a lot of different buildings. Some of the style designers, like Mixasa and Matlam, who did the underwater base design, got their designs approved by the developers, but they just loved and wanted to design a special design. So because we had this because we had the sugar farm here, and right up here is the dye shop. This is a Shire dye shop. We have made a little change with modifications, putting in this counter here and using Cooking for Blockheads fruit basket to put in samples of wool colors right there on the counter. Back here is the looms where the wool is being processed. But the reason that I love this dye shop is down here in the basement is the dye is where the fabrics are being dyed. So you can see them. They're dripping down from these pools of water where they were washed, and then they're drying them out, and then they'll collect them and use them for blankets and for carpet and for all the materials that that houses have. So that is Queen's Dye Shop. It's a shire. We needed to have some housing in this area for Queen and for Sergio, and we knew by this time that we were back in this area, so we decided to put another guard tower to protect these buildings that we were putting here. And this is where Camden's guard tower came from. This is Camden. He is first archer. So we have archers and druids, and Camden is first archer. Ariana is first guardian, but Camden is first archer and Emir is first druid. And speaking of Camden, welcome. So there's Camden. And did you just change clothes? That was interesting. So remember when we started, that must have been yesterday, that Camden wasn't in any uniform. He wasn't in any armor. And it's like, why isn't he in armor? But maybe he was just off. Maybe he was just on vacation. Why is Camden here? Because we discovered this. We did not know this was here for the longest time until we started building the behind here. And I think we can go through here. Yes, we can. We wanted to build the Shire Alchemist, and the Shire Alchemist needed a huge piece of land because it was, look at this, see that right there? That's the Alchemist. So in order to build this, we actually needed to come back into this area. And this is the alchemy. The Shire Alchemy is actually 2 covered wagons and a tent. And Orion, he was a baker when he first came into town. I think I'm going to have to sleep here for a minute. Let's do this for a second. We're just going to come here. We're going to get a bed, and I'm going to camp out here for the night. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I just made it. Wow. Whew. You have to be sleeping before a certain time of the morning, or you can't go to sleep. That is Minecraft. So, yes, so we wanted to build this, and when we came out to do that, we discovered this temple. And this is a skeleton temple. It is actually unlooted. We have removed the traps, but this temple is not looted. It is our sort of promise to the skeletons who gave us this land that we would not desecrate their temple of their ancestors. So I'm going to have a lantern. I did have one down here. Is this enough light? Let me see if this is enough light to take in. This might be enough. It is. It's enough light to take down here, so you can see that this is not it is not loaded. All of these traps are unloaded, but the tomb is still has all of its mummies and its skeletons and its graves in it. And we don't do anything with it. It's just here. We're studying it. And that's why a temple, this is the temple district. And what was put here was an extension of the Crag University, a library. The temple library went up right here, and this library is to study the temple and the history. This is a Shire level 5 library. This actually is a library, and one of the reasons that we wanted to build this library was because it has this amazing room down here. This room. Oh, let me see if I can get through the door before it closes. Okay. And so this room was here like this. We added the mod furniture, and we added the mod lights, the modded lights and furniture. But the room itself was actually here. We changed out the carpeting on the floor, and did some things like that. But other than that, this was the footprint for the Shire. I'm going to have to rush. There we go. And so this was perfect. Now we had it so that Natalie, the chief librarian, she actually put in a little reading circle for the kids. This is a place where Thalia, who's the teacher, brings the kids, so they're not afraid of the temple, of the skeleton temple. They learn about skeletons at a young age. They learn about mobs so that they are not afraid. And so they're brought here to have that experience and to actually see that. So we found these areas here, and we really loved this whole area back here, but we knew that we needed we needed to expand. And so we decided that we were going to move into this area of the other side of the meadow, which is the Reservoir Mountains. And there is Clayton. Clayton is chopping down trees. You see there trees. Yeah, he's chopping down trees right as we speak. So he's working on oaks. We're trying to get as many apples as we can for golden apples. That is something that our doctors are asking for. So he's going to replant those trees, and they're going to grow back in. You can see that he cut some trees from this area, and those trees have to grow back in. We decided that we were going to do something over here, and at first Aaron, who is our builder over here, our main builder, he was putting in this area. This was supposed to be for the farmers as well as for some future that we had no idea what it was going to be. So this is a little bakery right here. And over here, this is Orion, the alchemist, and the baker's home. Right here, it's a Shire home. And across the street here, this is Marvin's restaurant. Marvin's parents are Barbara and Jameer. Although he was raised by his uncle, Dax. Marvin, when this restaurant was first being planned, it was thought that it was only going to be one story. But what began to happen was the people wanted to come up here, and I was afraid that they were going to teleport themselves into the rock. So instead, I just went ahead and built the whole restaurant for him. The reservoir is above and around this restaurant. There is water in these mountains, and that water is being held back in this area. Hi, Marvin. Marvin's had plenty of people that he's mentored. The last person was Emiliano, who now has a restaurant in the Wolf's Head, and we're headed over in that area. This is Layla. Layla, this is her bakery, and she is in today. And she has a little bake shop where she serves coffee and pastry, and this is close to both the farm people, but it's also close to the ruins. So when Aaron was working, it was decided that we discovered in the temple a place that talked about the Wolf's Head, and the Wolf's Head was a artifact of the skeleton nation that used to sit on this coastline, and we couldn't get to the coastline because we did not have, the border didn't go out that far. So Aaron built this guard tower, this first guard tower. This is now the ruins guard tower, in an attempt to try and push the border, but it didn't. But what he found when he did that were these ruins. These are ruins of older skeleton cities that the people of Mni Island have restored and moved into and are using for themselves. So this is the ruins shopping area here, and there are several stores in this area. This is a Fletcher shop, but this is the Fletcher shop that does not have a place for you to try out your bow and arrows. That's why they have to go to Benjamin's. This is actually a retail store here. This is the level 5 cavern style Fletcher shop that has been heavily modified, but the footprint is absolutely Lady Shatana's. And we'll go through these doors, and that is Kali. Kali and her 2 sons owned the first 2 shops. This is one of her sons, Kason. Kason is a jewelry shop owner. This is a ores smelterer, but instead of smelting industrial ores, he smelts jewelry. So he makes jewelry in this shop, and people can come in and pick out whatever stones that they want to actually make jewelry out of. And this is where they sit down and try on their jewelry and decide what they want, what design they want, and then he makes it, and that's what he does here. So he sells jewelry in this shop. He is Kali and Mason's oldest son. Well, actually, Yaz and I think, are they twins? I'll have to check and see. They might be. This is Yaz, Kason's brother, and this is his clothing store. So all those things that you see the guards wearing are coming from this store. And this is a blacksmith that is now a clothing store. And this has been really fun. We got this idea for the dressing room covers from, I think, one of the other styles, but it worked out really nicely right here. We put those dressing rooms in, and we added way more armor stands than actually were in here. So this has been modified. We also put them in the window. That's part of our modification, and of course you see that there's modded furniture. Water, drink. Yeah, mermaid. Okay, I drink water. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder, Saf. I appreciate that. So yes, so this is the clothing store, and then across the way, Yaz's partner has the dye shop. So this is the second dye shop. This is a retail dye shop, and you can see it's been heavily modified from the cavern style, but we had much fun doing this dye shop, and I believe this is, am I going to remember? Ariana. Yes, so Eliana is first guard, and Ariana is the owner of this dye shop, and Adriana is the courier, the manager at Seabridge. So there's all these A names. This is Janet, if I'm not mistaken. This is a stone smeltery. This is our second stone smelter. And this stone smelter is the Pottery Barn. They do interior stones, and they're going to do like pots and dishes and things like that. She's still getting her store together. This is the flower shop. So this is actually before we got the one in the Crag. This was really the first flower shop that we had, and there are all sorts of little flower arrangements in here. And then of course there is this greenhouse area here where she does do some experimenting with plants and growing some things, but this is a flower shop. And lastly, across on the other side here is the furniture store, which is a sawmill. So this is the third sawmill that we have, but this one is retail, and you can see all the different modded furniture, chairs and tables. There's a catalog book right here, and that book is so that they can look in and see what kind of furniture, if it's not on the floor, they can look in that book and see different kinds of furniture that they want to have. And then this is the Ruins Shopping Center. So these arrows point to a hallway that goes into the industrial area, which is where we came from, and that is how these two are connected. It used to be for a long time that they had to go through Emir. Oh my gosh, Emir is here. Wow. They had to go through Emir's private quarters in order to get through, but only the guards did, and me. The people weren't supposed to use that entrance, and then we decided at a time when they were considering putting in a train, that rail, that they were going to see if they could run it through all the way through to this area, and they could. So we were doing all this work in the ruins because we couldn't do anything at the Wolf's Head. So once we had that shopping center, then we needed people. We needed tourists. So we built the third. Oh, good. There it is. It's almost done. We've been working on this courier shop right here, and it's almost finished. It still needs a floor to go in. And upstairs here is the last tavern that we put in, and it is the alternative build cavern style tavern. So there's two types of taverns that you can have in the cavern style. You can have the old-fashioned kind, and that's the default, which is just 2 stories. And then you can have the alternate style, which is usually these beautiful what would you call them, corridors, with the building being up and around these corridors. So this is one of those, and we'll go in here, and it's nighttime. I think I'm going to go upstairs. Let me see what time of night it is. Yes, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going up into this area. We did some modifications since we're not underground. We actually put in windows on this tavern, and we put in a front desk upstairs so that people could come here and they could get their keys, and then they could go into one of these rooms. So we're going to go in here, turn off the light, and go to sleep. So it says that a visitor died in the wall. So I should talk about the myth. There's a myth that there is a treasure buried on this island, and that treasure has been, there is no treasure, but everyone thinks, there are a lot of people who still think that there is a treasure, and they come to the island with a map, thinking that they have the map, the one true map that is going to help them find this amazing treasure. Unfortunately, for most of them, it ends in their death. And so that there are warnings in all the taverns about it, but some people think that they know better. And so what you saw was the record of one of the visitors dying in searching for the treasure. The skeletons still have a lot of secret places. This is a house here in this hallway here, and then we have another 2 houses right here, actually 3. We have this house, which belongs to Damon and Damon and Janet, right. Damon and Janet live here. We had started, they have work already being done on their house. They're getting some windows put in where they can actually look out or get fresh air. And they're waiting for furniture to come in for their house. And then here, and they're probably having Spencer do all the work. He's a builder, and he's their son-in-law. If there was marriage, he would be a son-in-law. There's just partnerships on in this world, and so that is what they are. In here, I don't remember. Oh yes, Yaz and Ariana live here and have raised their kids here. Their kids have all grown up. And then one of the kids, Janet and Damon's kid, Demi, actually is partnered with Spencer, and Spencer wanted to live above his shop. So this, in the old style of Minecraft, was actually built for Spencer, carved out of the rock, and these rooms were specially designed. This is all me, this part back here, except for this. This is a Byzantine piece that allows us to have these be working beds here in this house. This is a level 5 of this Byzantine piece, but we're only using 2 of the beds for this level 5. I like having couples have a bedroom to themselves, and thank you, Mubian, because that is what I'm able to have with that. A beautiful bedroom for them. Spencer is asking for something he's still building, and so that leads us to the thing that we couldn't do. We couldn't extend the border in order to make the wolf's head. So we ended up having to actually build a jungle guard tower, guard station, and this is a frontier. If I'm not mistaken, this is a frontier guard tower. It is amazing and absolutely gorgeous. We're going to go up to the living quarters. Nope. Did I pass it? I did. I passed it. It's right there. So what we did was we traded out some of the hard furniture for some cots right here where people can lay. The guards can lay. This is Case. Case is an archer, and this is his tower. This tower finally did it. This tower expanded the border to the point that we could actually build the wolf's head on the cliffs. And I'm sure the skeletons were happy to see their wolf's head back. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. To see their wolf's head back. And this is the wolf's head. This is the nether mine for the Nordic. This is a level 3 nether mine. Hold on. And I love this. I just love the tongue. I just love the whole thing. All of this is so amazing that I've been trying to enjoy each of the different levels. So this is only a level 3. In the next couple of episodes, I'm probably going to raise it all the way up to the level 5, but I just had to keep it at some of these levels because it was just such an amazing design, and I just love it. So once we knew that we had the wolf's head here, and while it was being built, we decided that we did not have a graveyard, and we also put in a graveyard here. The skeletons were okay with this graveyard because it was a graveyard. And it's right across from their temple. It is very dark and very, very sort of gothic, medieval. And so they love it as much as our people do. And they were fine with the way that it is. And one of the things that they were fine with is this is finite. It's not going to expand because the actual tombs, even though there are some above ground, most of the tombs are going to be underground, and there are catacombs in this graveyard that have plenty of space for those who want to be remembered. And that is that was built. These are probably the last few builds that we did. And then we needed some support for the fact that this is a nether mine. Where was all that material going to go? So we began to put in a new area called the cliffs. And this area down here, I'll come back to the restaurant on the way out. But this area right here is the cliffs. We have a mechanic shop right here. This is Joe, who came from the docks to run this mechanic shop. This is a desert oasis, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, Joe, can I get there? Thank you. I believe it's desert. Yes, a desert oasis. We modified the ceiling a teeny bit and we modified the outside a little bit because of what Chroma Hills does with glass. Sometimes we have to change the glass out, and we wanted it to fit into this location, so we did some things with it. This is the warehouse for the Wolf's Head right here. We're using a buried fortress warehouse. This is the fortress alternative, the small one, and Damon and Raven are the two couriers that are here. I decided not to touch any of the carpet in between these floors because I think that was the mistake that I made. See these carpets right here? That was the mistake I made with the other warehouse. So that's what I'm not changing in this one. This is underwater. We are actually below sea level here, and so because of that, we decided to build the first underwater piece in this city right here. This is Reed. He's a druid, and he is Russell's brother. So the druid Russell in Seabridge is actually the brother of the druid Reed, who is here. So you can imagine how thrilled both of them were when they discovered that they were both druids and both in a sea facility. So we built an airlock so that merfolk could come to this entrance and use it in order to deliver something to the city, and they really like that. And then the very last, these are all the most recent buildings. Here's the new clinic. This is Peyton's clinic. This is an Incan clinic too. This is the level 5 Incan, but it's completely different looking. Well, not completely, because it still has this counter right here, and it still has some chairs on this side, and it still has this bed arrangement, which is the footprint of the Incan hospital, level 5. But this is a clinic right here. And in this clinic, Peyton takes care of the people who are in this area. And then this is the Covenstead that was discovered here. So you know how we discovered a Covenstead underwater in Seabridge? This Covenstead is the one that was discovered here. There's Rory. Rory's going home. And, oh, he's just checking. He's not staying home. He was just maybe dropping something off at home. Rory is one of our druids. Aren't you? I'm almost sure he is. And so, yeah, why druids and archers? Because they don't carry weapons. Knights, and they carry weapons. And so that's the reason we don't have any knights. Let's come up here. And this is the latest restaurant. This is Emiliano, who studied under Marvin. He was a partner with Marvin for a while. And then he opened his own restaurant right here. This is one of the last restaurants that we've done. This is a desert, this is a savanna, urban savanna build. John Ryer built it, designed this. And we built it here because we wanted these windows to look out at the bay on both floors of this restaurant. So when you come up here, these windows also look out on the bay, and I just love the idea of that. And so we modified it on the inside to fit in with what we had in mind. This is a perfect example of something that needed to be fixed that didn't get fixed. And I'm just going to check the other side, but the other side is done. Good. And there we go. Wow. I got through this whole tour, Zaf, and that's the only thing that I did. I haven't. Oh no! I looked at a refrigerator and I moved the rug, didn't I? I guess I did too. But that's it. Right now, this is the entire city. There are still some things that have to be put in, and some things that we want to work on. And we're going to continue to have fun with this. This is my Twitch world. This is Mni Island. And this is where my Twitch stream has been for quite a while. And this is the sister city for Seabridge. So Seabridge is an experimental city. And Zaf, the full tour, why not, was a very good stream. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad. So that's it. I'm going back to the steampunk, and the next time that I'm in, we'll be back at our beautiful underwater settlement, and we'll be working on putting in some buildings, and maybe, just maybe, we'll almost be ready to maybe have some children and some things like that. So, but right now, this is us, and thank you. A little more time than usual. I hope you appreciate the tour. Yeah. Yay, team. So, and enjoy your games. Saf, thank you for spending your evening with me. You can enjoy your movie now. And have a good sleep. And I will see you sometime soon. Thank you, Saf. And for all of you who watch after the stream is over, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you most sincerely. And I'm going to play music now, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye for now.